Okay, is it working? Is it working? Is it working? We're gonna go to Ivy's Paint, and y'all can watch some of the things I've drawn in the past, including the thing I was working on last stream, while I check YouTube and see if it is working. Oop. Hopefully we don't get in trouble for that. Okay. Is it working? Hey, it's working! Let's go back into the stream and look at the live replay. Oh fuck, I put something out. Okay, it unfucked itself. Alright then. So, last time I was working on one of my spooky season drawings from a prompt list I found on Tumblr that contained a red paint. You're gonna see why that pissed me off later. Anyway, this is from a prompt list that I found on TikTok. The prompt was crying blood. So this was when Charlie was much younger, when her magic was much harder to control, and it was therefore a lot more destructive. Let's see, what else can I show you? Here's another one of my spooky month drawings. Yeah, this is Charlie when she's an adult, aka the current time of the story. And also she's a shapeshifter, so, she can just become the horrors at will. Oh, there's a person watching. Hello. Actually, if this is a cookie run stream, it makes more sense to... Let's have a look at cookie run things I've drawn. I'm so dumb. I've made like 3 adoptable. I made a few adoptables so far. This Divine Messenger cookie, an epic. For the most part with the adoptables, I saw like... I checked each element for like, and checked like, what is a role that this element doesn't have any cookies of yet. So like, for example, the light class, the light element doesn't have any ambush cookies, so that's what I made Divine Messenger cookie for. Please stop calling yourself dumb. Never. Never, ever, ever, ever. Are you kidding me? That has been the crux of my comedy for years. I'm not just gonna give that up. I say this all jokingly and lightheartedly. Also, some asshole just honked their horn outside. I really hope that didn't bother y'all. I am so sorry. Here's another epic I made, a scorpion beetle cookie. This one, poison doesn't have any charge cookies, so I made a charge cookie in the form of poison beetle of a scorpion beetle cookie, because I looked up poisonous like beetles, because I knew I wanted like a beetle-ish design, but I didn't really know where to go from there. And then I discovered this horrifying abomination. Yes, that's a real thing. Google it if you don't believe me. Google a scorpion beetle. That is a real ass thing. So I said, fuck it. I said, fuck it, we blow. And here we have the lovely scorpion beetle cookie. Or the progression of him. I don't really have... I guess I don't really come in with much of a direction of anything. Or at least I didn't with most of these. Is that the fucking pincers? I don't know if they're pincers, actually. You'd have to Google a scorpion beetle cookie not scorpion beetle cookie. Fuck. Google a scorpion beetle. And, like, ask Google what those things are, because I have no idea. Here's one of the commons I made. Caretaker cookie. The commons have very simple designs. If you ever need just a simple art challenge, draw a common. Draw a common. So yeah, not really much to say on this. Also, I noticed that, like, common doesn't have any support cookies, so I changed that with caretaker cookie. Here's a drawing of dark cacao cookie I'm working on for my brother. Just starting up the stream, you know, just letting people get in before we get into, like, any of the actual working on stuff. Sorry, we're getting into sicky season. We're getting into the season where my respiratory system doesn't want to be alive. But, you know, we persevere, we make it through. Yes, flour cookie. Get along really well, pancake cookie. And the one I made for my other friend is a pink lemonade cookie. Basically, one thing I noticed is that a lot of them were female, and also I noticed that a lot of them were, like, pretty, like, undeniably, like, pretty, but could still kick your ass. So that's what I did. Also, like, again, like, gameplay wise, like, what's the most common element, like, what are the most common, like, roles / class, whatever term you want to use. So I used that to determine the water support, but that doesn't mean that she can't beat you upside the head with that umbrella. Anyway, you get it. So I have 3 adoptables that I'm working on. Defibrillator cookie, that is an electric healing cookie. Time lizard cookie, which is a fire healing cookie. Glacier yeti cookie, which is ice and defense. And MRE cookie, who is steel and ranged. Which one would y'all like to see me work on first? Just tell me down the chat. I don't know why I'm tapping my teeth like this. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. Oh my god, here's the thumbnail I made for the very first episode of my Cookie Run Kingdom Let's Play that, yes, I promise I'm still working on, just give me time. Ice Yeti. Do you mean, Glacier Yeti cookie? Okay. Put the phone right there, so I can still see the chat, how it's on my eyes, but I can mainly focus on the design. Like, making the design. Like, doing the stuff, and the thing, and the stuff, and the stuff, and the thing. By the way, if y'all ever have any song requests, for me to fill the silence, let me know. I would be happy to sing. I'd be happy to sing for y'all. Alright, this was basically just to help me get, like, a general consensus of, like, the body shape. But now I gotta actually, like, add some defining features. So what I was thinking with for Glacier Yeti Cookie is that, like, you know that trope of a big, intimidating character, but once you meet them, they're just a total sweetheart, just a total gentle giant. Imagine if Icicle Yeti Cookie, instead of being a teeny little cutie pie, was that. That is Glacier Yeti Cookie. I can imagine like Glacier Yeti Cookie and Icicle Yeti Cookie meeting and like being almost instant friends, because that's the thing, is because Glacier Yeti wants to befriend Cookies, but because he's so huge and has little to no social skills due to living in isolation, he scares the absolute shit out of people. You know, all the gear I was wearing was, oh shit, that's Yeti. Then you know, he's a really sweet dude. Yeah, he's nice. He's big and scary, and he has no social skills. He wants to make friends, but he's somehow worse at it than Icicle Yeti. Like, imagine if Icicle Yeti could love for department. I can also imagine he speaks with Slavic accent, because we do not have many Slavic cookies. We actually don't have a lot of cookies that have accents other than British ones. Actually, now that I think about it, in chat, someone tell me if you can think of any cookie besides Elder Fairy, Silent Salt, or Fig Cookie that has an accent, because now this is fucking with my brain. Like, realizing, like, hey, wait a minute, we actually don't have a lot of, cookies with accents. So I've made the executive decision that Glacier Eddy cookie is Slavic. Imagine, like, he doesn't even need to wear the equipment to stay warm. If anything, it's probably he probably has like something in there to keep him like cool. Yogurt cream? Who? Oh, the prince guy that fucking lilac cookie works for, right? Okay, that was probably too broad. Name me a playable cookie besides Silent Salt or Elderberry or Fig cookie that has an accent. You can't really, because there aren't a lot, right? Like, unless I'm losing my mind and I'm just forgetting someone, but I don't think I am. But, like, I can imagine, like, he doesn't even need to wear the wintertime clothes to keep himself warm. He probably has something in there to keep him cool. He wears it so that he doesn't scare people when he approaches them. I should have grabbed a picture of Icicle Yeti cookie to use as a reference, but I didn't. Well, you know, what can you do? Does Clotted Cream Cookie have an accent? I don't think so. I think he just sounds like a little bitch. Can you tell I don't like Clotted Cream Cookie? I know a lot of people like Clotted Cream Cookie, but unfortunately, I am not one of them. You could... Dark Cacao... Honestly, Hollyberry Cookie could have not stepped in and could just let Dark Cacao Cookie punt him into space, and I would not have been sad about it. Does that make me a bad person to say that? Like, I wouldn't say that about a person, but I can say that about a character, right? Him sound like a condescending asshole. Glacier Yeti Cookie Look at him, he baby. I imagine he kind of looks like if dark cacao and icicle yeti cookie had a baby. Please don't add that to your ships list, chat. Please, I'm pretty sure icicle yeti cookie is a child. I want a character that looks really scary, but he's actually really nice. But first I have to make him look scary. You have to be able to understand why people are scared of him when they first see him. That's something that I feel like some character designers kind of forget about, honestly. Is that they're cute from the get-go, and yeah, this is usually designed for children's shows to teach children the lesson of don't judge people based on appearances, but dude, to pull off the trick of they look scary but they're actually nice, first they have to look scary. And before you ask, no, goofy as hell is not the same thing as scary. I'm rambling. Oh, there's 3 people watching. Hello. Hi. I gave him little bean eyebrows. Little beans. Little beans. Little beans. He did a flip. Yee. Alright, I'm gonna move on to outline now. Shit. Shit. Have you seen the ghost of John? Long white bones with the hair still gone. Ooh, ooh. Wouldn't it be chilly with no skin on? Have you seen the ghost of John? Long white bones with the rest all gone. Ooh, ooh. Wouldn't it be chilly with no skin on? Have you seen the ghost of John? Long white bones with the rest all gone. Ooh, ooh. Wouldn't it be chilly? pulse is clear, rushing in my ears. I hear something calling me. My pulse is clear, rushing in my ears. I hear something calling me. My pulse is clear, rushing in my ears. I hear something calling me. My pulse is clear, rushing in my ears. I hear something calling me. Ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ah. Question for chat. If y'all are willing to answer, I'll answer it myself, of course. What's your favorite Pokemon of each generation? Cause hang on, let me move my phone. Okay, there we go. Cause like for me, Gen 1, it would either have to be Bulbasaur, yes, Bulbasaur or Squirtle because they're dynamic in the anime was so goddamn funny. I refuse to have it be Charmander, honestly. Like Charmander's cute, don't get me wrong, but Charizard is so overrated, and also when I was a kid, I was scared of Charizard, so no, thank you. For Generation 2, I think my favorite would have to be Chikorita. Just I don't know. I like her little leaf ponytail. She fun. She fun. For Generation 3, my favorite is most definitely Torchic. Who doesn't love the little fire chicken? Honestly, like any Torchic haters can fight me in a Wendy's parking lot with a pool noodle. I do not care. Torchic is adorable. And yes, its middle evolution looks super ugly. That's the point. It's the middle evolution. It's the awkward teenager phase. It's supposed to be ugly. Let it go. Let it go, you whimsy haters. Let the Pokemon Company be clever with the Pokemon's growing up in development. It's an in-between phase. They're supposed to look like they've got hit with the back end of puberty. Puberty hits everybody with the back end. proper. Like I even took it with me to college. That's how special Finnegan is to me. Actually, I can just do another layer. Duplicate layer. Flip it. Move your ass over here. But going back to the question, what was the one right after that? Oh yeah, Lola. My favorite was initially going to be Litten. I was planning on picking Litten just because I picked the fire type last time. But then I learned that everyone was shitting on Popplio, and also that I had the prettiest evolution, so I changed my mind. Like I never had anything like any problem with Popplio, but I definitely was more convinced to pick it after I saw everybody fucking bullying one of the cutest Pokemon Game Freak has ever designed for no goddamn reason. What the fuck, you absolute joy haters. Anyway, anyway. Anyway. Um, sorry, I keep pausing and like trying to remember what's the next generation. Stupid. Was it Galar? I think Galar came after. I think I'm not losing my mind. I think Galar came after. Okay, yeah, Galar came after. My favorite from Galar was Sobble. I saw Sobble and like the same brain chemistry that triggered when I saw people bullying Popplio triggered the second I saw this pathetic, sad little baby. I immediately saw it and said, "Oh my god, this is my child now." When I played, I literally named my Sobble Baby. And it was named Baby all the way until it was an Inteleon, because even though it wasn't a baby, it was still my baby. Have I mentioned I get emotionally attached to my Pokemon? Like, I form emotional attachments. see it. Pokemon Legends Arceus. I picked Joshua because again, I am a sucker for that dumb little. I don't know why. Just it also applies to the kind of dog breeds I like. Like I can't get a dog currently in my current life situation. And my family already has a dog, a little beagle question mark. I'm pretty sure she's a beagle. At least mostly a beagle. Um but the dog breeds that I like individually, like you ask me what's my favorite dog breed, pugs and pit bulls. And they share a reason for pit bulls more so because like they don't deserve to be demonized, man. Like society has treated them so poorly. Holy shit. But anyway, despite the fact that we don't deserve pit bulls, I love both pit bulls and pugs for the same reason. Dumb fucking face. They have such stupid little faces. And I love that about them so much. I don't know how to begin to tell you how much I love their dumb little faces. Their little faces that are so dumb. Oh my lord, I love their dumb little faces. Once again, anyone who wants to, feel free to ask any questions you want in the chat. Like, it gives me something to talk about. Lets me engage with y'all, you know? If you have any questions about Glacier Yeti cookie, feel free to ask them, you know? I plan on being an epic cookie. Also, the adoptables will be sold different prices based on their rarity. I should have mentioned that sooner. Oops. But yeah, the commons will be like $1 because they don't take me very long. The rares will be like $5, and the epics will be like $10. Does that sound fair, or should I change it? I don't know without audience feedback because I've never really done like monetary things in my art before. whatever. I plan to do that also with ancients, the scripts, and the rares, but the commons and the epics, because some of them are children, and also just because there's too many fucking epics. Give them all one video. I plan on live streaming, doing a tier list like Blake Jennings does. You know, the person who I got inspiration for the video from. And like doing a tier list of, you know, which cookies can say the bad word for gay. And there are probably going to be at least some of them that, regardless of whether or not they can say it, I would give her permission to say it, specifically to me, at a wedding altar. We all have our, I mean, sure, if it means I can take them to dinner tier with anything involving, like, LGBTQ stuff. Like, I don't know if, like, you're actually gay, but for the sake of my happiness, I'm going to pretend like you are, because you're fictional. What the hell are you gonna do about it? That reminds me of an edit audio I heard today, where it was like a clip of Danny reacting to like an epic animatic, where he's like, in Disney's defense, what the fuck is a blind Cyclops gonna do? And then it cuts to like the beginning of Ruthlessness. Like, that's what the fuck a blind Cyclops is gonna do. In all my years of living, it isn't very often that I get pissed off. I try to chill with the waves, but damn, you crossed the line. I've been so gracious, and yet you are the son of mine. That's right. rays like, during the first one rays and yeah, I'm gonna be real honest. I don't think I've ever looked at the color gray the same way ever since that conversation. So don't just stop at asking someone, what's your favorite color? Ask them what makes them like the color. Because, like, my grandfather, he's a very traditional old man. Not boring by any means. He very proudly calls himself evil, and we very lovingly call him evil. But he's a very traditional man, so, like, I wasn't super surprised by him picking what I thought at the time to be the most boring color on earth, but I don't know, man. Ever since that conversation, gray has looked a lot less boring to me. So, next time you're wondering what someone's favorite color is, or like next time you're just trying to get to know someone, don't stop at asking, what's your favorite color? Ask them why that's their favorite color. So, chat, or anyone watching the stream ever at all, I want to know in the live chat or in the comments, what's your favorite color and why is that your favorite color? For me, my favorite color is yellow. And yellow is a color associated with joy, and I think I know why. Because yellow is the color of a warm evening sky right before the sun is fully ready to set. Warm is the Yellow is the color associated with bright summer days. Yellow is the color of dandelions before they turn into wishing flowers. Yellow might be the color of a room you feel safe and comfortable in, or the color of a blanket that a baby in your family cherishes. It's the color of warm butter to put on tasty food. I think the reason that yellow is a color associated with happiness, not just because it's bright, but because it has the ability to bring our brains back to I am dumber than a sack of bricks balls. When I tell chat I'm stupid. Itchy. Like, my nails were itchy and I don't know why itchy. Until the chat has decided what they want to ask me. I recently found my happy place on campus, just a place I can go to when all's going rough and wrong. It's over by our community garden that's like kind of hidden off, and it's by the art building, the visual arts building, but like it's hidden off in like a forested area, which seems weird, but also makes it kind of cool. Like I discovered this shit by accident, like sometime last year. I don't remember when, but I also discovered nearby that little garden and that little gazebo I love to sit in, that also there's just this huge ass field. I assume it's for like field sports of some kind. I've seen like goal nets there sometimes, occasionally, but I don't typically see people there. So sometimes, when I just need a break after the week, on a Saturday, after I've had some food, I can literally walk over there, and then from where it is, I can walk back to my dorm. I walk over there, and I just run around the field. I twirl around, I run around, I giggle my head off while listening to my folklore playlist. It's pleasant. It's a pleasant little area. Charlie. The characters consume all my thoughts, and every single time that they have, I lose my shit. I lose my mind. I absolutely. I love when my friends draw my characters. Like, it makes me so happy I literally can't even form words about it. I'm starting to think that maybe I should make that wheel picker just so I have something to talk about while I live stream. When I don't really have any other idea of words to say. Balls when it changed to eraser. Other than balls, it changed to eraser.
The Army National Guard is looking
Still thinking. Oh. Next up, my favorite Pokemon. Oh, that one's easy. Other than Senecan, it's Mewtwo. I love the idea of ghost fairy types, especially because they in mythology are known for causing problems, often through means that harm mortals. And the ghost type Pokemon are also known for causing problems in ways that often harm mortals. Like, I don't know how or why this type combo didn't occur to somebody sooner, but I'm glad it was made. Also, I love Mimikyu's concept. It is so cute. Like, Mimikyu wanted to be loved so badly that it literally made a costume to look more like Pikachu in the desperate hope that someone would love it as much as people love Pikachu. And that makes me fucking cry the best way. If I had a Mimikyu, swear to God, I would love it to death. I would love the hell out of it. A close second for my favorite Pokemon for the longest time has always been Eevee. Honestly, I'm pretty sure Eevee was the favorite absolute fucking cinema of a musical artist. Like he isn't. I'm not gonna deny Al his flowers. Like those water squirting flowers you put on clowns, but I'm not gonna deny Al his flowers, you know? Maybe he'd like a little spritz. Also, I'm not gonna act like, I also act like Albuquerque isn't one of, if not the funniest song I have ever heard in my life. Trying to think of some other, oh shit, musical artists that I enjoy listening to. I listened to a lot of CJ5 when I was a kid. Like, that's another thing I listened to. Like, a lot of, like, fan-made video game music. Think, like, Random Encounters, Man on the Internet, that type shit. There should just be a button to swap back to the color I was using. Anyway. Trying to think of some other musical artists I enjoy. There's Lemon Demon. That's some good stuff. Well, like spooky shit, and that is, in fact, a compliment. Like, still to this day. When I'm walking home alone, and I need studio created Spy Kids and Shark Boy Mama Girl. I don't know what the hell they gave the writers or the involved in making those movies was sober. You could convince me that maybe a couple of them were sober, you know, just to have shit together enough to get things done, but you can't convince me everyone who was making those movies was sober. You can't do it, because they probably weren't. Anyway, going back to shows though, I know of a lot of YouTube series I like and YouTubers I like, but the question wasn't YouTubers, now was it? No, the question was actual TV show. Oh my god, how did I forget The Amazing World of Gumball? Absolutely amazing show. The Amazing World of Gumball is honestly another piece of media intended for children where you can't convince me that everyone involved in the conception of that show was sober. But like I still love The Amazing World of Gumball. It is so completely insane. It is absolute madness. And you know what? It doesn't need to be anything other than absolute madness. It can be absolute madness. It can get away with that. And we can all be very, very happy with it being absolute madness. the whole soundtrack. And my mother could too. It's our mother-daughter thing. Well, we have a lot of mother-daughter things actually. It's not our only mother-daughter thing, but it's a mother-daughter thing for us. But the next thing. Favorite animal? I might have mentioned this on the channel before, but it was probably a while ago, so I'll say it again. I love raccoons so fucking much. They are my spirit animal. I'm not fucking kidding. Like, all throughout my life, I've always enjoyed collecting pretty little trinkets, or as other people would so delicately put it, garbage. And sometimes it was literal garbage, but that's not the point. The point is, I had sticky fingers, but not in the sense of like being a thief, but more in the sense of like I found a random item on the ground and I thought it was pretty and it's mine now. That is how I operated throughout my life. And because of my habits of like picking up random objects and just collecting random shit, my mother would ever so lovingly call me a trash panda all throughout my life, which naturally caused me to grow an affection for these critters. So yeah, I have been a raccoon lover ever since then. Honestly, who who the fuck doesn't like raccoon? Well, been driven so mad by going through because it's life, ever changing within that life. On top of that, I call him a hot-headed murder, a murderous hot-headed man child, and I still feel justified in saying that. Because, like, yes, what you went through was shitty, but the way you handled it was also shitty. Like, it's the same thing I tell Dark Cacao Cookie and Hollyberry Cookie with their parenting. Like, yes, what you went through was horrible, but that doesn't mean that it was a good or even healthy thing for you or anybody else involved for you to take that out on other people. It wasn't good for you, it wasn't good for them, especially because a lot of them are dead. But you get the point. Like, that is just a bit of tough love that I have to offer to a lot of characters. Like, yes, I understand what you went through was shitty, but how you handled it was also shitty. I hope people can look at my characters like that too. Like still love them as characters, but acknowledge that as people, what they went through was awful, but the way they handled it was also kind of awful. I love characters like that. I love characters who are fucking messy. They are a mess. You wonder talking about? Oh yeah, grilled cheese. Fuck. But grilled cheese was the first food I ever learned how to make on my own. I can make a grilled cheese. But also, the main reason I started loving grilled cheese, the main reason I even wanted to learn how to make one, was because my mother would make them for me when I was a kid. And since she made it, it was like my comfort food all throughout my life. And I once told my mom this, that grilled cheese are my favorite foods because they're my comfort food because she used to make them for me. My mom said, I don't remember her exact words, but she said something along the lines of, that means that I succeeded as your mother. Like, I'm glad she felt so honored by my enjoyment of grilled cheese. Anyway, next topic. Favorite OC? I've said it before, I will say it a million times, it is Charlie. This motherfucker lives completely rent-free in my brain. And if you don't know who Charlie is, and you probably have not been keeping up with my content, you're probably not one of my online friends that I often rail to. Charlie is one of the main characters of my series, Awaken, and I love her. She is messy,